What shall we talk about this week? This tweet blasted out into social media. Creator on OnlyFans said, "My dad just subscribed to my OnlyFans and gave me $100 tip. Now that is how you support independent creators." Hey, there's a delay with wireless headphones, so don't blame me, bro. So this tweet is all around yucky, and I'm not just talking about the part where everyone's imagining that someone's father is looking at their OnlyFans as a subscription-based adult website where adults can subscribe to other adults and they can see content that interests them about each other's lives and talk about very adult, mature concepts, as the mature adults do. In between talking about very adult concepts like death, taxes, the existential crisis of markets slowly inhabiting every portions of our lives and social status, people can tip one another with money to support the kind of content and photos and pictures that one likes to post and the other likes to look at. There are several of these structures that have independent artists and creators getting money from the general population. It's just another way of crowdfunding what you like to do and supplementing your lifestyle, perhaps. In a lot of these crowdfunding platforms, $1,000 a month is considered a lot and successful, but $1,000 a month is a poverty wage. I've had to live on $1,000 a month before. It was not pretty, and it was only possible through splitting rent and getting support from family members. And support from family members is exactly what this OnlyFans model did. And I, of anything in this video, want people to take away is it's okay to need money, and it is okay to receive money, and it is okay to ask for money when you need it. And it is very okay to give people money in order to support them. You hear that? Federal government? The thing is similar to every other crowdfunding thing on the internet. The woman's father isn't just giving money to her. He's giving money to OnlyFans. The people that profit and gain the most out of these crowdfunding platforms and content delivery platforms are the people who own the platform. YouTube profits off my videos, even though I do not. Though to be honest, my videos probably don't make too much money. It's probably a loss. But they gain from wanting to have a monopoly over the online video market. So my presence on the website and your presence on this website gains YouTube what they want. It helps them profit in some way. And this video is me giving away my labor for free. I could take this exact video, put it on OnlyFans, and charge people for it. And I would actually be profiting from the actual labor that I've done. Though probably not enough for the hours that I'll put into this video, or thinking about it, or researching it and preparing it for the day where I would one day have the opportunity to make a video about an adult conversation website. I don't know how to. So, why did this girl's father give money to OnlyFans? He could have just given her the money. She would have gotten more money. OnlyFans takes a percentage of all the money that comes through. That girl did not get all 100 of her father's dollars. So why bother giving it through OnlyFans? Well, then we get to the game. OnlyFans has designed itself to be a game. It is gamified, its system. Of course, YouTube has done this to a while, and YouTube's shape that it has gamed out is a pyramid. Very few people have a lot of subscribers and a lot of relative power on the site to people with less subscribers, and that is how they form themselves. And I talked about this in my video, Why Do We Keep Forming Pyramids? OnlyFans, however, does not have the creators subscribing to each other. There is no pyramid shape there. Instead, OnlyFans has literally put in a ranking system. Creators on OnlyFans are told what percentage they are. If they're in the top 40 earners on the website, the top 1%, the top 0.3%, I feel like everybody is somewhere around the top 2% for some reason. So what average people might have heard about OnlyFans, if they're not directly looking to it like some weirdo who wants to make YouTube videos, is one, any controversies about a famous person, and then OnlyFans is tagged onto there as something that they used for it. Like, I think Bella Thorne pulled some stuff. 2, they might hear the meme, the joke that went around about the beginning of the quarantine, where everyone's like, oh, subscribe to my OnlyFans. Give me money on OnlyFans. Everyone's starting an OnlyFans. We touched on this in my last video too, where everyone wants to monetize their clout, no matter how much clout they have. And the third thing you might have heard is so-and-so is in the top whatever % of OnlyFans, which I feel like there's a lot of people splitting up that top 3%. I don't know how they like average it. Maybe they were like, there's 100,000 people on OnlyFans, 1,000 people are a top 1% earner probably? I don't know. And from the ranks or percentage of earners, they're told how good they are and they get perks. I don't know. Do they get perks for being a top earner? Does that let them have more gadgets on the website? Even if it's just for bragging rights, it's still an incentive to buy into the OnlyFans system. And so with this incentive, even for bragging rights, people want to get their money, but they want their money to come through OnlyFans so they can raise their rank. If the content creators non-critically participate in it, it profits OnlyFans more than it profits the girls. And OnlyFans is not the only website that does this, or suggests that friends and family, people that could just literally hand you $20 to help you out now and then, or even regularly give you $20 in order to help support your art in some other way that's not monetary, like buy you supplies, take you out to dinner, just entertain you. There's lots of ways that you can support independent artists that you know in your life. So let's tell you a little story about Patreon. Hey, can you talk? Well, I'm shooting a video talking about crowdfunding campaign. You're part of that because you write, right? Well, about a girl who's on an adult website, and people subscribe to the adult website similar to Patreon, and she bragged about her dad subscribing to her adult website and tipping her $100. So that would just be a direct line. Well, no, you don't have to tip me. No. It's tea time. So I run a Patreon. My original thought when doing the Patreon is that it'll be there for when I need it. YouTube is a flimsy site and I will not be making money from it anytime soon. And I do need money to live, and I need money in order to incentivize where I spend my time. Because if I'm able to make money from a thing, then that helps my art, my writing. When you start a Patreon, they put a big emphasis on your launch, which is not what I was expecting when I did my Patreon just in case I ever need it or want it. And it wasn't my only reason for it, because I also just wanted a central place where I could link all of my projects, my disparate writing, my tiny updates, any video games I make, and my videos. My original hope was that Tumblr would be that place. But Tumblr fell out of fashion and went away and spectacularly kicked over itself, and I'm not even sure what capacity it exists currently. And also, all of my friends stopped using it. So there's several things that Patreon asks you to do in order to launch. Most of them are fine and okay, such as get a couple posts up, get a couple scheduled and ready, let your fans know that it's coming, have maybe a countdown to the day, launch it with some kind of event, share other people's Patreons and maybe help promote each other, reach out to your friends and any family to share on their links to your work and your Patreon. All good things and supportive things. The thing that seemed kind of sketchy in retrospect and connects to our current topic, Patreon asks new patron users to have their family and friends donate through Patreon to you, because statistically, when someone finds a Patreon that doesn't have any patrons currently, they tend to skip it because they don't think they're going to get anything out of it. But if there's already patrons, then they're okay to jump in. So it has 5 to 6 of your family members give at whatever level in order to start your Patreon moving. But the thing about that is, no matter how worthless the Patreon campaign, those few dollars will be skimmed and given to Patreon. So I did this. I went to a few of my family members and asked if they would be willing to pledge to my Patreon for a few days, or a few weeks or months or whatever. And I had some family members that did and helped. And they gave money to me and to Patreon. And I don't know why Patreon does that. Like, I don't know why they don't just have a button for fake patrons if they know that you're gonna have fake patrons. Like, why not just have like 3 or 4 not people have there if they just want the image of getting money to Patreon? And of course I know the answer. It's because Patreon profits off of that money. The other thing about donating money to an artist through a crowdfunding campaign, either from family or friends, is in turn they might want something. In our current system, we can pay people to get groceries, deliver them somewhere. We pay people to fix our roofs. We use money to exercise some influence over each other. And when my family member donated to my Patreon, they had a request. And they requested that I swear less in my videos. And for a while, I think I tried and do, because, YouTube in general doesn't love swear words in like the first minute or 30 seconds of a video. I have Tourette's and I like to swear, and it's just how I kind of talk, and it is the most natural thing for me, and I like it. I really like it. Swearing is great and fun. But the family member doesn't like swearing, so I'm like, okay, I can tone it down and I can still say my messages. It's not like you're telling me to start simping for capitalism. You ask me not to swear. I can swear less. And the family member of mine, to be fair and kind, didn't put any hard stipulations on it. It was a request. But some people that need to go to OnlyFans, that need to go to crowdfunding platforms, do not have such gracious people. They'll want other things for you to do for them. And to an extent, there's a lot of stuff I'm willing to do. I'm willing to take topics. I'm willing to stop swearing in videos, as long as they're still like my videos. YouTubers do it all the time with ad buys. But sometimes people are in situations where they're not mentally prepared for that thing. I wasn't actually mentally prepared for it. I had to kind of make it up as you go. And if you need money, you make up the things as you go to get you money. The way I combated it on my Patreon is I made it a game. I gamified it. I'm the worst. I made it at a certain level of patron. Someone can suggest rules or constrictions on what I do. And then I could have my Patreon as a whole vote for what role to adopt. That way I'm not just taking orders directly from a person. And also I gave myself pre-approval in the beginning, because it's not like strip poker is a thing I want to do on YouTube. So you might be thinking, oh, okay, if there's so many strings, there's so many downsides with accepting money from people, why do it at all? Why not just put your art out there for free? That way it can stay in the shape that you want it, and if people actually like it, they can see it or not. Which is a pretty popular opinion. If you're bitter and think other people are spoiled brats for wanting to live. Silver Spook, a native Hawaiian activist and homeless game designer who made the game Neofeud and Neofeud 2, says this in his devlog on itch.io. Neofeud took me 3 years to make, and it was a great game I put my heart and soul into. It was the game that I wanted to make, rather than just another corporate cash cow or just another app clone. It was a labor of love, but it was a labor, which I ask to be paid for. Art takes work, it takes time, it takes resources, no matter if that art looks like a bunch of selfies, or a video game, or a video essay on YouTube. It takes resources and labor to make, and people should be compensating, even if that work and labor wasn't at the behest of a multi-million-dollar company that actually doesn't care if you live or die and is looking to replace you as soon as possible. I'm making this video not just to normalize giving money directly to artists and people that are living out there and trying to crowdfund their life, giving support to them, not just to say giving people money for their labor is good and normal, but to say that people's needs should be taken care of no matter what they do. Right now that might take the shape of friends and family giving money to someone, but really, people should be taken care of. People should have their needs met. I don't need to discourage you from supporting artists, supporting YouTubers, supporting only models, because I think that is generally a good thing to do. But be aware of the structures that you're buying into and the roles that you might think you're buying into when you give money. There's people that demand a lot of people through Patreon and think that they're owed something if a Patreon gets to a certain dollar amount that they perceive as a lot of money for this fake job. And it can take a lot of willpower to tell someone who feels like they're entitled to your time or your body or your art, and to tell them no. Things work best when people's needs are met and they're able to make the kind of art that makes them feel good, makes them feel comfortable. So if you know anyone, just give them money. You hear that? Federal government? If you're running a Patreon or an Only account, be aware of how it works and how they might be manipulating you with ranks and numbers and statistics. And of course, in the best possible world, people's needs would be taken care of so that if they didn't want to, say, have an Only account and wouldn't be trying to trade their clout for money, that their needs would be met, their housing needs, their food needs, and that could better lead them to have a more healthy social and professional life and a better relationship with the kind of art or content they make. Thanks for watching! I do have an Patreon. I don't have an OnlyFans. If you do see me on there, do not subscribe. Do I want to release videos on OnlyFans? No. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, check out my Patreon. You don't have to give me money there, but you can follow all of the things I do. I have a video game that I've made and produced for free with a partner, and that's out now. We haven't decided if we want the final one to charge money or not. We're leaning no for now. It's also where you can read all of my stories like Veronica Venom and Otherworldly Tales and Our Dying Days.